Vale, saca cuántos. Y el último, oh, me voy a quedar con 0 protogemas. Siempre quedaba con algunas personas que son y nada.
You struggle in vain, dancer! You're not long for this world!
Oh, see how the Aegis turns against its master.
You are not my master, tyrant! You never were!
I am quite happy to concede this point, but what about the Count? Have you forgotten that he gave you life and whispered the order that animates you? Look how he runs, the coward! Do you understand what he has in mind? La pauvre enfant, sleeping so sweetly, she won't be dreaming for long now!
Garçon! Athenais! Don't move!
The time has come to set you free, Aegis. This whore's soul has poisoned your cogs for too long. Adieu, sad puppet.
No!
Bonté divine, I don't want to die.
Athenais. The sun is rising, and you have slept for far too long. The beauty of this world longs for you, just as you long for its light. For you are like the flowers that open in the morning. I know you, mon ami. We loved each other. Vous en souvient-il? You gave me your heart. So please, let me give you mine today. Vive heureuse, Athenais. For it is happily that I leave this world.
This way, monsieur.
Mes amis, we have the king. But as of yet, we know not who will wield the scepter and exercise power.
That is for us to decide, mon père. Let's put our quarrels aside and choose someone to succeed the tyrant.
Maximilien is right. Leaving the nation without a government would expose it to the greatest danger.
We understand, monsieur. Seulement, things don't seem to be turning out the way we'd hoped.
What do you mean, Abbot?
Monsieur le Marquis, would you please share what you just told me with the rest of the Assembly?
Monsieur, I have just received a most alarming message. It was given on to me by one of my aides-de-camp, who miraculously escaped the massacre and stayed hidden until daybreak. He reports that the Duc d'Orléans entered Paris at the head of an army he raised in exile.
Diable. How many men are with him?
The letter speaks of 2 full battalions.
Grand Dieu! 2 battalions!
It doesn't matter how many there are. Those soldiers will be flayed alive.
That's unlikely. They reportedly have set up a fort and dug deep ditches in the hills of Montrouge. This means that they intend to hold their position.
But what is the point of their strategy?
They're simply waiting for the automats to run out of steam.
Excuse me? These machines haven't shown any signs of weakness at all.
You must understand me, monsieur. No one in Paris dares to venture out into the street. As for Cagliostro, he nearly bled to death. Even if he's still alive, he can no longer command his evil army. Without orders and souls to harvest, the automats will simply go in circles until they finally stop working. It's a question of days, maybe weeks.
And when the time comes, the Duke will take Paris with forces that are infinitely superior to our own. If this message is true, monsieur, then the King's scepter is as good as his.
Treason! All is lost!
But then, have we been nothing but pawns in the Duc d'Orléans' great scheme? I refuse to believe it!
Please hear from Chancellor Choderlos de Laclos, Garde des Sceaux of His Majesty Philippe d'Orléans, Roi des Français.
Monsieur Louis de Bourbon, former monarch, in the name of the King and the French people, in light of the innumerable crimes of which you have been found guilty, the court has sentenced you to death. The sentence will be carried out on the hour. Now that justice has been done, the French people are ready to hear your last words.
My loyal subject, since you must lead a lamb to the altar, since you must offer a sacrifice to this new France that you intend to found, I will be that sacrifice. How dreadful this world is, where beauty is doomed to fade and flesh decays. I found no consolation in this world. I vainly thought I was giving our souls the gift of immortality beyond our mortal bodies. The Grim Reaper was my sworn enemy. Influenced by the most awful of men, I believed that the genius of machinery could overcome death itself. Alas, I have lost this fight, and am branded with the mark of murderer. Life, even more than the crown, was heavy for me to bear. I have suffered too long under the thumb of nature, which I despised. As a child, I saw my older brother die. I lost my father in the prime of his life, and then my mother, who was even younger. My beloved daughter did not live a year. As for my son, the first of my heirs, I unknowingly gave him to drink from a poisoned cup. I mourn the death of these poor souls daily. My death will not unite us, of this I am certain. For I, in my misery, have lost the support of my faith. So, executioner, lay me down on this board, veux-tu? I will sleep now. Sleep at last, and not to dream.